We gather here tonight to bring women back to their rightful place.
The Testaments, a new Hulu original series from the executive producers of The Handmaid's Tale.
It's easier to accept a story than believe that the people around you are monsters.
The battle isn't over.
There comes a time when you have to take action, when you have to choose your own destiny.
Never quite as it seems.
Watch the new Hulu original series, The Testaments, streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Hey, how are you? Ready to go for a run?
Running connects us to a rush of energy that flows through our world. The cheers of friends that unlock a new gear within us. The intersection of interests that inspires a run crew. The support that gets you over the finish line. Connection is why we move forward and what inspires us to keep going. Let's run there. Learn more at brooksrunning.com.
This episode is brought to you by Ferrero. Soccer's biggest stage is approaching, and Ferrero is making it easy to go all in. Pick any two Ferrero brands from Kinder Bueno to Ferrero Rocher, and you could win the $1 million grand prize, plus an exciting range of daily and weekly prizes. Don't miss your shot. Official rules apply. Learn more at goallinandwin.com.
If you're a QuickBooks customer looking to grow your business without the growing pains, you need the Intuit ERP. Upgrade to Intuit Enterprise Suite in a matter of hours. It's the AI-native ERP from the makers of QuickBooks. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Will Howie Roseman be active via the trade during the NFL draft in 2 weeks? Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast. There is covering news, notes, and opinions on your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, jointly produced here by the Eagles Pinball Podcast Network and the STT Sports Network on YouTube. Guys, I'm Phil Stiefel. As I always say, wherever you're watching or listening, whichever platform you're watching or listening on, make sure you hit the buttons on your device, the like button, the share, the follow, whatever it is, whichever platform, whatever you can do to help these two great channels continue to grow as we march closer to the draft, to help continue to grow these two great channels. Please do it. I greatly appreciate it and much need it. And make sure you tune into Trending in the AM on the STT Sports Network over on YouTube, where we go live. And on Friday, we will be live mock draft 3.0, where you, the listeners, get to pick the players the Eagles draft, along with some other great stuff that we'll be talking about. Anyway, so there's two things that are kind of linked, kind of not linked, that are rolling around in my big brain as we inch closer. And the draft starts on Thursday, April 23rd. So most likely when you're listening to this, we are now less than 2 weeks away from the draft. And what I keep hearing more and more about, that this is going to be a very active draft in the trade department, not just for the Eagles and Howie Roseman, but overall, that there's going to be a lot more wheeling and dealing than normal. And we know that Howie Roseman loves to trade draft picks, trade during the draft, trade picks for players, trade players for more picks. We know Howie's never content without having to make some moves. So it got me thinking of a couple things. And I was asked on, I believe it was Trending in the AM on Thursday, about my opinion on Myles Garrett. A random listener wanted to know if Myles Garrett would be traded from the Browns, if the Eagles would be interested. Now, to backtrack for a second, this is known as one of the not-so-deep drafts. There's a lot of really good players, but there's no great players. And the Eagles, outside of last year, 2025, have been very blessed that Howie Roseman has drafted a lot of immediate impact players. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Quinton Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Devontae Smith. The list goes on. Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, guys that stepped in, played, contributed, and contributed successfully right away. John Campbell started off hot last year, lost his spot. I think there's some injury issues related there. And Drew Makuba obviously was starting, but injured as well. Is this the year you need to draft an impact player, right? That's a question in my mind with your first, couple picks. Or are you drafting for the future at offensive line? Or with all these rumors of trades, do the Eagles make a trade? Now, defensive end, edge rusher with safety is one of the biggest immediate 2026 needs. The biggest need might be Lane Johnson's replacement for 2 years from now, but to continue to win and be successful in 2026, you need an edge rusher, right? You need someone to go with Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith that's going to be a game changer, right? So when somebody asked me, would the Eagles trade for Myles Garrett, I said most likely not. But then you go over on ESPN and you hear some nonsense. And again, sidetracked again, the nonsense is nonsense about how the Eagles should trade for Max Crosby because the Eagles need a culture change in the locker room. Now, this is not about Max Crosby, but the team that's been to the playoffs 5 years in a row, won the division back-to-back, been one of the only two teams to beat 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years. They need a culture change. They need a locker room. And they need it from a team in Las Vegas that hasn't been to the playoffs since before they were in Las Vegas. So whatever. But Max Crosby is a name that's going to be danced around in trade talks, despite the Raiders claiming he's going to stay there after the whole Baltimore debacle. Max Crosby and Myles Garrett's names you're going to hear from now till the draft. And for the weeks and months after the draft till the season starts, you're going to hear their name in trade rumors constantly, right? And my question is, with this not being a great draft, you're not getting a Quenya Mitchell most likely. You're not getting a Devontae Smith most likely. Do you trade that first overall pick? Do you make a move to take your defense from great to elite? Do you spend that kind of quality assets when you know you need your Lane Johnson eventual replacement down the line? What would it cost? I don't know. Could you get a Max Crosby for this year's first, next year's third, and say Nolan Smith? Would that be something you'd be interested in? I see Howie Roseman making a bunch of moves, whether it's trade up, trade down, or trading for a player. But I'm not totally in the thought process that you're going to get somebody in the first round that's going to help the 2026 team. The 2026 team, yeah, you got to think about the future, but the 2026 team needs a defensive end, needs someone to pressure the quarterback. It needs a safety as well, and I don't know if there's any safeties available. I think I heard Hamilton from the Ravens once might have been available, but I don't know. Anyway, it's one of those things like, what do you do? So I'm just throwing the scenario. We now have up to 15 top 30 visits reported from the Eagles. Seventh one now is an offensive lineman, Caleb Lomu from Utah. They've also brought in Caleb Douglas, wide receiver from Texas Tech. So now 10 of the 15 people that have been reported already for top 30 visits are either offensive line and wide receiver. So that's where the Eagles are thinking at this point. And wide receiver is another whole subject with the whole A.J. Brown situation, what they do. And I didn't do a show yesterday because I didn't want to talk about it, but now I kind of feel like I got to. Obviously, there's the drama going on at the Athletic and the New England Patriots with Athletic NFL reporter, Philly Insider of the Year, Deanna Rossini, seen photographed holding hands, hugging in a hot tub with New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. Whatever. I'm not going to get to the TMZ side of things, but there definitely seems to be a conflict of interest there, and definitely, kind of points to the direction of why these AJ to the Patriots rumors have constantly been so heavy from one source and one source only. But I don't know if AJ Brown will get traded or not. I don't think drafting Omar Cooper or Chris Bell or Caleb Douglas changes the situation. I think it simply comes down to one thing. If a team gives Howie Roseman a 2027 first-round pick plus whatever else, whether he's here or not. And if he's here, fantastic. If he's not, means we got something great for 2027. It doesn't matter. But it's really a damn shame, the whole situation that's unfolded with Rossini and Vrabel. It just is an ugly look for both the Patriots and the Athletic. It's something that's being tried to. Very few major outlets are talking about it because they're trying to keep it quiet. But it is what it is. Form your own opinions. Something crazy going on there. Anyway, we'll be back next week. as we inch closer to the draft. Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy the Masters. And for now, go Birds and bubbles up.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't clone you, but it can streamline your hiring workflow. From posting jobs to shortlisting candidates to interviewing, LinkedIn Hiring Pro is the hiring partner you need, so you can focus on connecting with the right talent. In fact, small businesses report saving over 6 hours per week. So hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Go further with the American Express Business Gold Card. Earn 3 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels when you book through AmexTravel.com. Whether your destination is a business conference or a client meeting, your purchases will help you earn more points for future trips. Experience more on your travels with Amex Business Gold. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
No one goes to Hank's for his spreadsheets. They go for a darn good pizza. Lately, though, the shop's been quiet, so Hank decides to bring back the $1 slice. He asks Copilot in Microsoft Excel to look at his sales and costs and help him see if he can afford it. Copilot shows Hank where the money's going and which little extras make the dollar slice work. Now Hank has a line out the door. Hank makes the pizza, Copilot handles the spreadsheets. Learn more at m365copilot.com/work.
Hey, Fidelity. Can I get a second opinion on stocks in the Fidelity app?
With Fidelity, it's easy to get an outside opinion from independent experts in a single score.
And then?
When you're ready, trade U.S. stocks and ETFs with no commissions.
That's right.
I am always right.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Online U.S. equity trades and ETFs and a retail Fidelity account. Sell order assessment fee not included. Some account types and securities excluded. Details at fidelity.com/commissions. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
The Lincoln Spring Sales event is on now, and there's never been a better time to experience the feeling of driving a Lincoln. Pictures, sunlight through the available panoramic vista roof, music, weather, and maps on the 48-inch panoramic display, and a drive so smooth that inspiration rides up front. Stepping out better than you got in. That's the Lincoln feeling. Get behind the wheel of the 2026 Lincoln Nautilus SUV and discover exceptional offers only at your local Lincoln retailer.